Hello and welcome to Kumza Africa Amplified, reverberating across Africa and beyond. I am Akumbera Munjerere. Thank you so much for joining us as we bring you up to speed with continental development. Thank you so much to all of you who are supporting this channel across the continent and beyond. In this special episode, I'm joined by Dr. Tomaz Augusto Salomão. He is the former executive secretary of the Southern Africa regional body SADC. He joins me exclusively as we talk about his time in office at the regional body, as well as his time as the former cabinet minister in the government of the Republic of Mozambique. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you like the content of this podcast, remember to subscribe, like, and share. Welcome. Dr. Salomão, greetings to you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, my brother. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
After a long time.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yes,
We've been hunting you for a long time.
But here we are. And
Here we are. I'm excited that you are here.
Thank you.
Dr. Salomão, I'm looking forward to this conversation because there's so much to cover. Because your career is rich in terms of what you have contributed to the body politic of Mozambique, as well as your contributions as the former executive secretary of SADC. But before we talk about your time in office as the former cabinet minister in the government of the Republic of Mozambique, talk to me about what you have been up to, because it has been about how many years since you left SADC?
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years?
Yes.
That's a long time.
A long time. But, at some point on my way back home, I made a stopover in Joburg, and I have a conversation with former President Mbeki.
Yes.
And he told me, why you don't spend time writing your memories?
Yeah.
And I said, where? And he got me space, and he spoke with the chancellor of Wits University. And I spent time there, lecturing, but at the same time, writing my memories.
Yes.
That's why I was able to produce my memories on the SADC I served in Portuguese, English, and I'm finalizing the French version. This is about my memories at SADC.
Yes.
But you know that I have spent a lot of time in my own country. And right now, I'm busy writing my memories on Mozambique. Since the time we became independent in 1975 until the death of President Samora Machel, the tragic death in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Mbuzini. Okay? And I'm busy with that, trying to put together all elements of what I saw, what I know, what I witnessed, my conversations with him, the day of his departure to Zambia, all these kind of things. So I'm busy doing that, and I think that is exciting. Unfortunately, I had to stop because I was taken by events, the recent events in Mozambique.
Yes.
So I have to put
the project on hold.
On hold. Just to give my hand on what is going on in my own country, just to try to help and find a way forward so that we can move on. That's the most important thing.
That is fascinating what you are saying there, because there's so much that happened in terms of the history of Mozambique, isn't it? And I'm looking forward to that memoir. When is it going to be complete?
I think that the Portuguese version will be ready in March, because my target is to launch before the 50th anniversary of Mozambique independence. That's my target. So I have also to translate to make sure that I manage to translate to English, because there are many elements related with the INC, with the ZANU, ZAPU, Mugabe,
the liberation movements,
all these kind of things.
Yeah.
And the lessons that one can draw from there.
Yeah.
And I think that is good not only for us in Mozambique,
Yeah.
but I think that for the young generation in Southern Africa,
Yeah.
it's important for them to learn where we are coming from, to understand what kind of challenges we are facing,
Yeah.
and how we can deal with them on a constructive way,
Yeah.
while we are constructing our own countries. Yeah, but bearing in mind that more than 50% of people of population in our countries are youth, and some of them they were born in 20s, end of 90s, so they really don't understand, and they don't have the story of how and when we got where we are today. So it's important to spend time with them, telling them the story. Say, look, things are not easy, but that's the way to go.
Yeah.
And the same way people fought for the liberation, now is your time to take the responsibility and look forward and build.
The continent
is a completely different
yeah.
thing, is a completely different agenda, completely different challenges that you might face.
Yeah.
But you have to deal with them. So that when you reach my age, 50s, 60s, or 70s, you can look back and tell your grandchildren how you have contributed to the better off of people in this region, in this part of the world.
Yeah.
How you can make Africa a better place.
To make an impact, a difference.
It's a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So that we look at our continent with pride, because we made it, we achieved it. We don't need to copy from here and there. We need to do things according to our own reality. But we have to be prepared to do that. And the starting point is to train people. To train people.
I like the fact that you're talking about, addressing the problems, addressing the challenges that we are facing as the continent constructively. But I'm fascinated about your experience in terms of what happened prior to the demise of the former president of Mozambique, Samora Machel. Are you willing to spill some beans in terms of during the time, on the day when Samora Machel died in that plane crash, what sort of conversation did you have with him?
I don't want to anticipate, but what I can bring to your attention is in the morning on the 17th of October, 1986, Samora Machel had a very difficult meeting with the generals, general officials, where he decided to dismiss one of his closest friends, former chief of army, General Sebastian Mabot. But that meeting started at 11 o'clock, and at 9:30 in the evening, he had to stop the meeting because it was the birthday of Mama Graça Machel. And the family was at home, family and friends, waiting for him for the birthday celebration. So we were all invited to join him and the family for this celebration. But it was 10 o'clock in the evening, so it was just a toast, few words, and then we left. What I kept in my mind is, for some of us who were there, and many people who were there attending this celebration, colleagues at the party, colleagues at the government, they didn't imagine that that was the last time they were saying Samora Machel alive. Evening of 17 October 1986. Because 18 of October, he spent the day with the family.
Yeah.
And early hours of the morning of 19, he left to Zambia,
Yeah.
where the meeting with the other heads of states,
Yeah.
Kenneth Kaunda,
Yeah.
Dos Santos, Mobutu, Sese Seko of Zaire, or then Zaire, the meeting was to be held.
Yeah.
And that was the last time that I saw him. And I was at the airport. Because remember also that during that time, we're facing a challenging war, the destabilizing war in Mozambique. And he decided, because he was the commander-in-chief of the army, that on his way back to Mozambique, he could make a trip to Zambezia just to have a chat with the soldiers and encourage them of what they have achieved so far.
Yeah.
Was the fight against Renamo, supported by the apartheid regime.
Yeah.
You see, and by Kamuzu Banda of Malawi. But unfortunately, things turned the way they turned, and what was left is really to collect the remains in Buzini. It was a dramatic event, and then prepare the funeral, the official burial, and then to look for the succession. And that's when Chisano took over. And I worked with Chisano from 1986 to 2004. 18 years. That's why I keep saying that Chisano is my president.
But you also worked under the former president, Armando Guebuza, isn't it?
No, because that time when Guebuza came to the office, I ran to this position in SADC in 2005.
Oh, okay.
So we worked together, yes, myself as the executive secretary of SADC, but Guebuza was the president of the country. He's the one who take over from Chisano when he won the election in 2004. That was my last campaign, political campaign in Mozambique, supporting my political party. Out there. But everything went on well. What is left today is draw lessons from that.
That is such an important piece of history, isn't it? That young people have to be told. And I'm glad that you are putting together this memoir.
The intention is really to make it public. Because you don't write memos to keep them in your... no. They make sense if people read. And I'm not asking people to say if this is right or wrong. I'm writing what I saw. I'm writing my part of life. I'm writing things that I had and firsthand. So that's the content of it. And then people can make their own analysis, what went right, what went wrong. But my duty is to write and put this in perspective.
How would you describe your tenure as the former executive secretary of SADC, Dr. Salomão?
You know, when I joined SADC, I was told that when I met President Festus Muhai, for the first time, he said...
The former president of Botswana.
He was the chairman of SADC. So he called me to his office, and we had a long conversation for 3 hours. And he said, my friend, now the agenda is regional economic integration. Yes. Free trade area. Common market. infrastructure development in the region. What has to be done for us to build a common market? You see, to expand what is today SACU, this community made by South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, you see, and Eswatini.
Yeah.
So to make this a wider common market in the SADC region, so that at some point, SADC, East Africa, Tomaz would come together and build a wider and larger market in our continent towards the continental integration. That was the agenda that he set for me. But, you know, political instability is always a challenge. And what happens in reality, we started to face problems in Zimbabwe. And I recall that at some point, former late President Levi Mwanawasa, he made a visit to UK, and during the official dinner, he said, Zimbabwe looks like a sinking Titanic. And you can
remember that.
You remember
I
that.
remember that.
And you can imagine the reaction in Harare.
And other countries within SADC as
Can
well.
imagine. And late President Mugabe was
furious.
Yeah. Up in arms. What is that? Where do you come from? Until SADC decided that, look, this is not right. This is not a good approach. I think that let's avoid to go to media and make statements to respond. We are a regional body, and our duty is to sit down and talk. And you know, at that meeting in Lesotho, you see, by alphabetic order, you have Zambia, and the last one is Zimbabwe. So they sit close. So you can imagine
the tension
between the two delegations during that meeting.
Yeah.
But the former president of Lesotho, Pagalida Musiside, then decided to call his counterpart in Tanzania, former President Jakaya Kikwete. And they have a conversation. They agreed that, okay, come to Dar es Salaam. Let's invite President Mwanawasa. Let's invite President Robert Mugabe and the other leaders, and let's sit down to see how we can address this. And former President Thabo Mbeki was also invited. And at the end of the meeting, they concluded that, look, the best thing to do is to appoint a mediator. And when you appoint a mediator, this mediator has to be agreed by both parties. And they said, okay, Thabo Mbeki
is the mediator.
He will be supported by the Executive Secretary of SADC, and he is the mediator to try to bring the political parties together in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Mugabe, Tsvangirai, late Morgan Tsvangirai, and Atam Tambara. That was the task put ahead of former President Thabo Mbeki to make it happen, and our role was to provide him the support for that goal to be achieved. In my book, I spent a lot. I expanded a lot on Zimbabwe because the tensions were really very high. Very high. And it was a challenging event even to bring late President Robert Mugabe and late Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai to be seated together and have a cup of tea,
yes,
a conversation
together. Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
President Beggy told me that I managed to organize a dinner between President Mugabe and Morgan Tsvangirai. So your task is to take Tsvangirai to President Mugabe. I said, that's fine, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I wait for him at the State House, and I wait for Morgan Tsvangirai there. So he arrived, and we were taken to the holding room.
Yeah.
So we wait, and then we escorted to meet President Mugabe.
Huh.
And we went to see President Mugabe, 2008. They greet each other, very cool. And then I said, Mr. President, my task is over.
Huh.
My task was to bring
Mr. Tsvangirai
here,
yeah,
because the dinner is between you and him. I'm done. Please,
can I be excused?
Can I be excused?
Yeah.
Tsvangirai said, no, you should stay here. I said, no. This is your dinner. It's not my dinner. And the president said, okay, you can go. And I left and wait outside for doing my own stuff.
Yeah.
For my surprise, 30 minutes after,
Yeah.
the dinner was over.
Yeah.
Then I saw Tsvangirai coming out. I asked him, you were very quick. How can you have a dinner with the old man? And you only spend the 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Meal conversation. He said, Tomaz, I think that it was enough to start with.
Yeah.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
And I prefer to finalize my dinner at home. So let's leave it like that. So you can imagine the level of discomfort in both sides.
Yeah.
But anyway, they managed at some point to sign the GPA, the Global Political Agreement.
That culminated into the Government of National Unity.
Government of National Unity.
Yeah.
Where President Mugabe was the president, Morgan Tsvangirai,
the Prime
Minister, and Atam Tambara, the Deputy Prime Minister.
Yes.
And I think that it was an achievement, and we have to acknowledge, and we need to commend the Zimbabweans for what they did. Though the difference were there, and the difference will be there forever. You see, but one thing is, they realized that Zimbabwe comes first.
Yes.
And then the rest. So I commend these two late politicians for
doing that.
For doing that.
Yeah.
For doing that. Unfortunately, they are no longer with us. But there is no doubt that we need to recognize and appreciate what they have done. They have done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like that is one of the key highlights of your tenure as the former executive secretary of SADC. Would you say that?
Well, on the political side, yes, we dealt with the Zimbabwe issue. We dealt with Madagascar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, currently, the current president of Madagascar, he is one who was challenging Marco Ravalomanana because he didn't agree with the things, how things were handled, and was very young at that time. Today you look at him, you look at as a matured man, politician, and it's very interesting to see how a man can go from a disco jockey to become a president of a country.
Well, it happens, isn't it?
Happens, yes.
Not only here on the continent,
You
but
see?
in beyond as well.
You see?
In Ukraine,
You see?
we've got the president who was a comedian. He's now the president.
Yeah, so
it happens.
Those things happen. So and don't get surprised. So if with this kind of events, we dealt with Lesotho when the difference were really high between the former president,
Yeah.
former prime minister, and his opponent at the political part. And what I was really not understanding in the case of Lesotho, you have a small country surrounded by soda, and less than 2 million. You see, they failed to come together and understand each other. And but well, I hope that at some point they realize that we need really to come together and offer what the Lesotho, the kingdom in the mountains can offer, what diamonds and to the regions, and they did that, and I really wish them all the best. And the last one was DR Congo, and that one was really a tough one.
It remains a problem even now, isn't it?
It remains as a problem even now. But again, you see, I spent 6 months in that part of the world.
Eastern DRC?
Yes.
Goma,
Kivu, Kisangani,
Masisi.
All this place. I know them.
Yeah.
I met with Bosco Taganda. I met people from M23, people from FDLR. You see? I was at the border between Rwanda and DR Congo. The border between DR Congo and Burundi. And it's really a complex issue. And I do understand and thank God the president of Angola, João Lourenço, he understands very well what is going on there. He knows what is going on there. You see? So what is left is really to support his efforts within the framework of the Great Lakes.
Yes.
They are working to try to bring together the parties to find a lasting solution to their difference. But this is a fighting between brothers. They were split by
the borders.
And everything started with the Rwanda genocide, people flying over the place. So you have Tutsis in this side, Hutus in this, and they need to understand, and I believe they do understand, that they don't have any other option. They have to come together and live together in that part of the world. The suffering of people is really too much, not acceptable. And I think that international parties have to play their own role and take their responsibility. What MONUSCO is doing there, they have been there for 60 years.
For many years.
For many years.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Failing to support the peace process. What are they doing in that part of the world? I think that some of them, they spend time trying to get involved in the traffic of minerals instead of spending time dealing with the peace process. That's why you have a queue when they learn that it's time to change a shift in the eastern part of DR Congo. You see at the headquarters that there is a queue of people willing to go there. Why? Because they know that the major activity is really to get involved in things that are not direct linked to maintain peace in DR Congo. So, I, as an African, I really suffer to see what our brothers in that part of the world are going through. And one. Two, is very easy to play a blaming game. You see, the only option when you have a conflict is really to accept to bring the party together, for the parties to talk and come to an understanding and agreement.
Yeah.
And after the agreement, what they have agreed and signed has to be respected. That's my major appeal to both parties.
Yeah.
To DRC government, but also to
the Rwandan government.
The Rwandan government.
Yeah.
Yes. What they agreed, or if they are going to write or sign something, they have to respect.
Yeah.
And do whatever can be done, really to help our brothers then. M23, those are Congolese citizens.
Not Rwandan citizens.
No. Those are Congolese.
Yeah.
Yes. At some point, they were integrated in the Congolese army.
So President Kagame is right when he says M23 are Congolese.
They're
citizens.
Congolese. Yes. Go to the border.
There's misconception going on that they are actually Rwandan.
No, they are Congolese. They're not Rwandese. They are Congolese. The name M23 is coming from where? This was a unit.
March 23.
It was a unit.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Created in the Congolese army. And unfortunately, the government failed to pay attention to their logistics and support. So, and they, what they did? They rebelled against their own government. It was a rebellion against Kinshasa.
Yeah.
Made by who? By Congolese. By Congolese. And when the government tried to fight them, they find refugee in Rwanda. Because if we stop here, you see, I'm here in this side, I'm in Congo, but you in Rwanda. That's how the border operates. In the top of the mountain. So I think that my strong appeal is really the region, the continent to come together and help our Congolese brothers
to find lasting peace.
And people there in the Great Lakes, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Tanzania. Tanzania can help and support to come together to find a lasting solution.
But did you bring up those issues, Dr. Salomão, during your term as the Executive Secretary of SADC?
Absolutely. There was a strategy in terms of energy development. What we need in Africa. We need peace and stability.
Economic development.
Let's stop fighting among ourselves. We need peace and stability. Because we are brothers. The borders came from somewhere. But we are brothers in this continent. So that's why we need peace and stability. One. And that's the major legacy that we can leave to the next generation. Peace, stability, a peaceful continent. One.
Silencing the guns.
Yes, silence the guns. And we don't produce guns. We buy guns from all over the world, and we bring them here to kill each other. So let's use our brain to bring peace and realize that peace is the most important thing. Once you have peace, then you say, okay, what we need to come together, to move around. You need infrastructure. You need the roads. You need the telecom. You need energy. You need water management. You see?
Yeah.
You need trains so that you can move from Cape to Cairo.
Yeah.
Or from Addis to Lagos. Those are the kind of things that we need to think about. And let's bring our own resources to build this huge, big, continental free trade area. But we need to have peace and put infrastructure. It's a long-term process. You don't do it overnight.
Yeah.
But it has to be done. And if you go to Addis, to African Union, the roadmap is there.
Yeah.
Let's implement the roadmap. And finally, if you have peace, you have infrastructure in place, people can move around. Move around to do what? One, to provide people with the right skills to deal with development. We need technical engineers, electrical engineers, physicians, mathematicians, medical doctors. We need scientists in this continent to give us the light on how to produce things using our own resources. Prepare the youth. Provide the youth with the right skills. If need be, okay. They can go to China, they can go to Europe, they can go to United States, but to get the right skills and come and make sure that Africa is the green pasture for them.
But is there a political will to do that, Dr. Salomão?
It has to be. It has to be. There is no other option. There is no other option. We need to make sure that our iron, magnetite, cobalt, gold, all these things, copper, they have to be transformed here. The industrial development strategy is to base here. Let's see how countries can take advantage of all that. Based on the capacity, skills, infrastructure in place, and let's expand. But let's accept to come together. This is a huge continent, And Africans have, at some point, to realize that that's the only way to go. There are no two ways. That's the only one. And we need to keep repeating this 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 times. Until we realize in our minds that it has to be this way.
But do you have any regrets in terms of the things that you were not able to achieve during your time as the Executive Secretary of SADC?
The regret that I have is from the economic integration one, we managed to stabilize somehow some of the political challenges that we are facing. But on the economic integration agenda, we only managed to launch the SADC Free Trade Area in 2008. And then in 2011, we agreed, SADC, East African Community, and Tomaz, to build the tripartite free trade area, which was then incorporated in the continental FTA. And there is work going on in Accra to make sure that we become really a huge market.
Yeah.
Huge market. This continent will be very soon 1.5 billion citizens. The same size of China.
Yeah.
So we are a market. Yeah, we are a market.
Are we making progress, Dr. Salomão, when it comes to economic independence? Because we do have other countries on the continent that are getting funding from your IMF and other international institutions. Are we making progress in that regard?
Some progress. Not much, but there is some progress. I don't think that we have to put the blaming game on the multilateral institutions, because we know what they can offer. Yeah. IMF, World Bank have been there for more than what they offer in real terms. Can you show me one example that you can indicate that, look, this country achieved A, B, C, and D with the support of IMF and World Bank? None.
Yeah.
Okay? So, with that in mind, knowing exactly that, okay, we need to partner with them. It's fine. You need partners. There is no problem in having partners. But who set the agenda? It's you.
Yeah.
You have to set the agenda. It's a tough game, yes, but it has to be set. Yeah. And you move step by step. And you control what you have achieved so far, where you need to correct, where you need to change.
Yeah.
How can you move faster? But you don't have any other option. Oil is here.
Yeah.
Gold is here. Gas is here. Diamonds are here. Magnetite is here. Copper is here. Coal is here. Land is here. Water is here. So what? What is left is really to prepare our youth with the right skills and empower them to drive the transformative agenda.
Yeah.
With this African mindset. Africa belongs to us, all of us. And let's work towards achieving better quality of life to our citizens, step by step. Step by step. And we can do that. Difference we'll all have. But let's put them aside and let's work towards the common agenda.
Sure.
Development.
You spoke about the issue of peace and security and a need for the continent to achieve long-lasting peace. But your own country, Mozambique, there was some tensions there following the outcomes of the October elections. When you look back at the outcomes of the elections and what transpired after that, what comes to mind?
One, we have to learn from what has happened so far and accept that there are things to be made differently. And I believe that the elected president and the political parties came together and understood that they need to set an agenda to make sure that we look towards building Mozambique for all of us. And in order to achieve that, you need to undertake and embark on reforms. Reform the Constitution and the electoral law. You see, Because it doesn't make sense for you to hold elections in October, you see, and only in January you have the final results. October, November, December, January. You create tensions. You hold elections. 1, 2, 3 days after, you can announce who is the winner.
Yeah.
And then the legal part of it, you can deal with it at a later stage. But to announce who is the winner, that part is easier. So we need to change this.
Yeah.
One, electoral body is not a political party entity, political party's entity. Is an independent body.
The non-partisan body.
Non-partisan body.
Yeah.
You have a lot of citizens out there who can, on a very transparent way, come together to build this and run this process. And if you don't know something, we can go to our neighbors and ask how they made it. South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, and so on. Tanzania. This is possible.
Yeah.
Okay? So, one, we need to learn and we need to accept that there are things that need to be corrected, and let's embark on this process with commitment, a solid commitment to make sure that things can be done differently and on and because it's a matter of trust. You need to make sure that the trust and confidence is there. People believe in the systems, people believe in the process.
Yeah.
And if that trust and confidence is not there, you were lost. So I think that the major lesson that we need to learn from this is let's embark on reforms and change whatever has to be changed. Our democracy is we started the democratic process in 1994.
Yeah.
30 years. It's still
Fairly new.
very new.
Yeah.
And it's the right time to take actions and change what has to be changed for the good of the country.
But what, in your view, is the problem with regard to the current electoral process in Mozambique?
I think that there is a lack of trust on the institutions. You see?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to say that the trust on public institutions in Mozambique was, how to use the right word?
Yeah. It was eroded?
Was eroded.
Yeah.
Since the issue of the hidden debts. You know, if public money can be used for private agendas,
Yeah. Then there's a problem.
then you have a problem.
Yeah.
Well, you can take to the court, to the prison, to the jail, the culprits.
Yeah.
You see? But one thing is clear. The trust is gone. So there is this mindset of how can you trust public institutions? Some of them linked to the political parties, including the ruling party, my own party. Because the public debts, the hidden debts, occurred during the ruling of Frelimo.
Frelimo, yeah.
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 So it shows and indicates that people lost a lot of trust and confidence. And you need to find way to do two things. One, to send a clear message that similar events will never occur again. One. Second, the other form of doing that, as a political party elected to run the country for the good of all of us, with clear rules and procedures, and you had this piece of lack of good governance as a political party, for a party like Frelimo, who brought the liberation and independence for Mozambique, a public apology is due. To tell the citizens, compatriots, here, we went wrong. We went wrong. What occurred is not acceptable. Don't end or finish by taking people to jail. No, it's not enough. But you need to make a clear and a loud statement that we apology. Send a clear apology so that you can recover and regain the confidence of the citizens. You have a new leadership. A new leadership is coming. Young people. And they have a huge chance to do things differently. And come to the people. Come up from the people. And say that message, that those things will never occur again.
Under our watch.
Number two, we apologize. You send a clear, a sincere apology of what? Of events that occurred. And then you gain the trust and confidence and put in place the right institutions to make sure that good governance, transparency, fight against corruption, and so on, is there. Because you cannot allow in a country like mine, where 70% of people are living under poverty, to send message of signals trying to show otherwise that things are different. And you have to accept that that's the reality. You see? And people don't, I don't believe that they love this young guy called Venancio Mongana. No.
They don't love him?
No. They found someone who could voice their concerns.
Their frustrations.
In particular, the youth.
But in terms of the transformation that you're talking about, Dr. Salomão, does that involve perhaps the overhaul of institutions such as the Electoral Commission?
Completely.
Completely?
Completely. That's my view. Yes. Let's put what is there aside. Let's start from zero.
Rebuild.
Let's
from
rebuild.
scratch.
From scratch. We need to have the courage to do that. Let's rebuild. For the good of the country. Because we don't want to repeat similar events. People have to look at the institution and say, okay, we trust institutions, we trust the bodies, and so on. If they don't trust the institutions and the bodies, you are lost. You can't have the repetition of similar events. And I believe that what occurred to us, we Mozambicans, we need to have the courage to share with the region. Say, friends, what happened with us was A, B, C, and D due to reason 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Watch your back and pay attention. Don't repeat our mistakes.
Yeah. Lessons to be learned.
Lessons to be learned.
What do you make of SADC's intervention in Mozambique?
They did the classical model of intervention. You see? But there are some rules that has to be changed in the guidelines. They need to send a more stronger message in the guidelines. But member states are to sit down and agree upon on what has to be done. Yeah. But always keep in mind that you are not building institutions for today.
Yeah.
You are building institutions for tomorrow.
Did you feel that you had any limitations when you were carrying out your mandate as the executive secretary of the regional body? Because others have expressed concern that there seem to be limitations within that structure, the secretariat particularly.
Well, the problem is the secretariat is not an independent body. You see? You drive the agenda set by member states.
And implement. Yeah.
Okay? You need to keep this in mind. You're not an independent body. You drive the agenda set by member states. Our structure is completely different from EU, for instance. You see? No, you don't. You have first that limitation. Okay? Second, all member states are facing financial challenges to put forward resources and their own contributions, which bring limitations. Even to send observer missions to member states to observe elections, because resources are not there. And you send a small team, it has an impact on the quality of your report. So it's an issue that requires some level of in-depth analysis to find out how best we can achieve our goals, making sure that the regional body plays an important role. But there is no doubt that member states need that body, and is a well-recognized body in the continent, so we have to play our part and do our things. And what has to be changed or corrected, let it be. Member states have to make a decision, and then we move on. Looking forward. And the main agenda is peace and Africa transformation.
Peace and Africa transformation. Did you ever have any ambition of becoming the Prime Minister of Mozambique, Dr. Salomão?
No.
Come on, Dr. Salomão.
My ambition, my major ambition was when I retired from SADC, is I go back to give my contribution, but my major ambition is to lecture. And that's what I'm doing.
Apart from putting together the memoir we spoke about earlier.
Yes, I'm doing that.
Yes.
That's my major ambition. And that's the way to leave a legacy.
Yes.
That's why that's the way to leave a legacy, because I have a lot in my mind to be shared. So if you close me in an office doing this and that, you cannot share my own experience. So the best thing for me to be useful to my own country, to the region, is to share my own experience.
Yeah.
My own experience. And I only hope that I will still have some health to keep writing.
The momentum going.
Yes, momentum going and keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to help your own country, you don't need to be a president or prime minister. You can help.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm helping, and I'm doing my part, and I'm playing my role. Yes.
If you are called by leaders of the continent to form part of the team, maybe that can go to the Eastern DRC or Sudan to intervene in
I'll be more than happy.
Would you be happy to?
And ready. Anytime. For Africa, I'm ready. I'm happy and ready.
Dr. Salomão, it has been such a pleasure having you here exclusively to Kumza Africa Amplified platform. Thank you. Obrigado. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much. Siyabonga tatenda kyalibo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I wish you good health so that you can accomplish whatever that you want to accomplish.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There you have it. That was Dr. Tomaz Augusto Salomão joining us exclusively here on Kumza Africa Amplified, reverberating across Africa, sharing his experience as the former executive secretary of the Southern Africa region, Southern Africa regional body SADC, as well as his experience as the former cabinet minister of the government of the Republic of Mozambique. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation. It has been fascinating. If you like the content of this podcast, remember to subscribe, like, and share. Until next time, it's goodbye for now. Cheers.